Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a V-Day DIY tutorial. This can be used for other special occasions as well. Like I've also done this sort of thing for Mother's Day, which I'll show some pictures. But since Valentine's Day is coming up, I wanted to do something creative. Not that I really celebrate the holiday, but I know there are people out there who do and want to do something creative. This is going to be referring back to the first tutorial I ever did on this channel, which is with lino block cutting. But I'm going to be using this simple one, like you can get at any craft store. So let me just stop rambling and just get started. So you're going to need this, but if you want a specific image or something, you print it. Like I said, it's in the other tutorial, but if you just want to draw something, then just grab your pencil and get started. So you won't have to trace. Well, right now I'm not going to trace anything because it's going to be really simple. So this is like the size of the card. So like I said, you could get, this is supposed to be like the easiest one to cut. This is thicker, and then it has the block here as well. And with these, like you could use both sides to cut. I also have one like this without the block on it. It's up to you. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. This is just an idea for you to use. If you want more precision, then of course trace it out first and then draw over the trace and put it onto this lino block. But because I don't feel like I really need to for this, since I have some practice with this, I'm just gonna skip that step. And it's not gonna be perfect on here just because I don't really need to, as long as the final artwork looks okay. But if you're new to this, always practice before you decide to make the final one. So if you're new to this, or if you're not expert at it yet, or at least decent at it, get a few things to practice with. That way you get an idea of what you're doing, and you don't just buy one lino block or one piece of paper to do the design on and then it's messed up, then you have to go back and get some more. The part that doesn't get cut off is the part that's gonna get printed on. Is the part that's gonna be the print, and then this part is the one that will show the paper. Like this is the negative spacer. I'm gonna mark which I want to be printed so I don't get confused. Or I could have marked it the other way around. You know, I can't think straight when I'm sick, so bear with me. Now I'm gonna use this lino block cutting tool here. I already have one attached, and it comes with different sizes, so you just put the different pieces in here. It's very convenient. If you're new, like start off cutting the edges small. I mean, it all depends on the type of shape you're cutting. But don't start off with this thing. Like, just don't do that to yourself. But for edges, maybe you could start with this one. This is the basic one. This is the 2. Can you see that? Or even the 3. I mean, just start with these basic ones. Don't get ahead of yourself. And then if you have big spaces, you can use the 5. So this you can use for like the really big areas you need to cut, which I would need for this. I'll just introduce the materials you need as we go along. Alright, so we're gonna cut through here. Now it's been like a couple of years at least since I last did this, so I'm gonna be careful. I need to get used to it. So I'm starting at the edge here And then I'm gonna go in there a little bit and just go along the line and cut it. Don't rush, especially if you're new to this. Now, I believe you could get these at any craft store. I got this stuff from Utrecht, which is now merged with Blick Art Materials. So whether you go either one, you can get it from for sure. They also have it at Michael's and whatever other craft store that may be in your area. Hopefully they have this. If not, you know, Amazon got practically everything from A to Z. To have like a surface you don't really care about underneath what you're doing. I have this cutting mat in case I cut through anything. This will protect my table. You can use like cardboard or the back of your sketchbooks or whatever as your surface. It's not going to be perfect. Keep that in mind. There will still be grooves here. Okay, I'm gonna line this part now so I don't mess that up later. Just follow the outline slowly but surely. Oh, shut up. However, I just got that out. Narrowing it down so that this part doesn't get printed, but this does. So this part has to stick out and this part has to be low enough to where the ink doesn't pick this part up. That's the goal here, folks. So I'll just do this section and then like the rest of it I'll do off camera, and then I'll come back. This lino block cuts like butter. Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna fix the edges a little bit. So as you can see, I finished the cutting, and this is what it looks like up close. Yeah, that part was kind of tough, but I ended up using this big number 2. There we go. Okay. This is all the stuff that I cut out. I told you it's gonna be very messy. This is the rolling thing. Oh, it still has ink on it. I'm gonna roll it on the block so I can print on it, and this is the type of ink that you need. Now it's time to cut the paper. Originally I said this was 4x6, but this is actually a little under 6. It's a little under 4 as well. I'm just gonna do 8x6 because when you cut, sometimes it's not the exact size that you want it to be anyway. It might be a little under. I'll just mark it. And I like to use the edge of the paper, that way it's less cutting. So it's already a sharp edge because it's already pre-cut. So let's do the 8x6 here. Where I'm cutting it up to, so on this side, lightly, now we do the 6, which I marked like 10 million times. I feel like I have to stand up when I cut, which is kind of bad for my back, but I feel like I get a more precise cut when I stand rather than when I sit, but I throw that out there. With all cards, do not use computer paper. It is too thin and flimsy. You can use cardstock or just anything that's a little thick. It doesn't have to be super thick, but it has to be like somewhere around here where you can fold it and have some weight to it. We're gonna be doing, so about here is where the card will fold in half. I'm gonna do this first. When the ink dries, then I will put the letters inside the card. I'm gonna use, so that the ink doesn't get on my cutting mat, I advise you do the same. When you're done with this, put it back. Put it back. So let's see how much I actually have left in this thing. Ooh. Not supposed to get in there. Let's see. I advise you wash your hands before you touch the paper. I'm being a rebel, so I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm just gonna place it. Be careful. You see what happens when you're a rebel? I'm just gonna cover that up later. This is why you should wash your hands before you touch the paper. But I want it to be a rebel, so here we are. I'm gonna carefully lift this up. Oh, doesn't that look sweet? I wish it had more color on it, but that looks nice. You can always add more ink when you put it on here, because once you print it, you can add more ink and then do it again, but it most likely won't align with the pattern you already have, so it might be a little off. I remember when I did this for a project, somebody did this with one ink color, and then after washing it, of course, they put another color on it, and then they put the paper on the block again, and then it was like this cool effect to the design. So you can always do more than one color. Because it's such limited ink, it's probably not going to take too long to dry, but you still shouldn't really touch it. So I'm just going to be extra and add some of these, and you should lay it out before you stick it down. So I can just fast forward through this part. It's like really silent. I need my concentration. You see, you can be creative. You don't have to buy cards all the time if you know how to make your own. And if someone doesn't appreciate it, if it looks nice, they can kick rocks. And that's that. Okay, I'm not sticking them down, I'm just laying it out first. Of course you can do whatever design you want with this. I just wanted to spice it up a little bit, but still being simplistic, because that's how I am. Arts and crafts. I spaced them out, but I didn't stick them down yet, and I don't have that many studs left. I literally have 2 left. So now I'm just patting it down so it can stick. For the inside part, which is covered in ink, another important part, because that's where you're gonna put what you want to say. And usually when I do cards, I don't have words in them. I usually just write them myself. If you're the type of person that gets cards because you don't know what to say, you can just find something, find quotes online or something. Make sure you put who the quote's from. Okay, don't just steal a quote. You could put it in there, you can print it and put it in there, you can write it in there like calligraphy or whichever, or you can use these. Now what I'm gonna do with this, I'm just gonna put Happy Valentine's Day. I think I got a little ahead of myself. I was supposed to fold this bad boy in half, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm actually a little excited about this project. I'm lining it up with the edge of the paper, with the edge of the ruler. Make sure that's straight. I don't suggest just folding the paper because it's going to be all wrinkly. We're going to lightly cut it. We're not cutting through the paper. We're just making a little imprint in it so that we can fold it. Make sure it's even, light. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but you see there's a little line right here. I'm going to take my fingernail and just with one hand to hold against the line and then use my other hand to press the paper up. There's a tool you can use that can help you fold paper instead of using your finger, but I don't remember what it was called. Just like with the studs, don't stick the letters down yet. We're just laying it out. I got these from Macos. And I just realized I did it the wrong way. That's why I did it this way, so I could put it. You see what happens when you're tired? I can't deal with myself right now. There you have it. They just put love in the front. I think that really spiced it up a little bit. That's what I'm looking for. Put Happy V-Day, the little studs there. And then I put Je t'aime, which in French means I love you. And you know, you can do whatever you want. Any romantic language. And then here you can put what you want to say. Before you do that, like what I like to do, I like to write it in pencil first. And then write over it in pen or whatever we're going to do in there. Because the card is so nice, I don't want to mess it up by writing a word and then messing it up. I like it to be perfect. Also, I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes, so that may also have to do with it. And this little mark right here, I could cover it up, but I'm not going to. I think it's just going to be decoration in my room. Happy Valentine's Day to myself. Self-love. Alright. So, again, you can use this for any kind of holiday, but this was Valentine's Day inspired. I will leave links in the description box for all the stuff that I use, so make sure you check that out. Thanks for watching. I don't know when my next tutorial will be, but stay tuned for that. And I'm gonna roast my college project, so look out for that. And I gotta do something for Black History Month, so look out for that too. That's it. Bye.